हेलो एवरीवन एंड वेलकम टू अनदर एपिसोड ऑफ संडे वेलनेस बाय पॉलिसी बाजार। मैं हूं आपकी होस्ट सिमरन। As we wrap up this year and prepare ourselves for the next year, it's a good time to reflect कि ये साल कैसा गया और अगला साल कैसे बेहतर हो सकता है। इस पर मुझसे बात करने के लिए मैंने इनवाइट करा है डॉक्टर संजीवनी पारगाल को, who is a psychologist and will help us decode how we can be better prepared for next year. Hi doctor, how are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hi everyone, my name is Sanjivani. I am a psychologist by profession and also a certified art therapy practitioner, and I'm excited to be here.
I feel like this time, which is, end of December, the holiday season, it's a great time for, reflection and, just thinking about how the year has fared for us and, planning the next year. But for some people, it can bring feelings of loneliness and stress. What are some tips that you would recommend for managing these feelings?
When we talk about holiday season, it definitely brings in a lot of different emotions in an individual. As you mentioned, the emotion of loneliness and anxiety are something that can come across one's mind as well. When we talk about a holiday season, we are expected to enjoy it, feel happy about it, and just have the positive emotions. But that's not the case for everyone, and that's very important for us to understand as well. Managing these emotions, I personally believe the first and foremost step is to accept and acknowledge that you are feeling this way. When we accept or acknowledge something, that's the first and the crucial step for us to figure out how we can work around it. Now, these emotions can come from different spaces as well. It can come from a space where you have to interact with a lot of people, or it can come from a space where you don't have a lot of plans, or anything like that can happen in a person's life that can trigger these kind of emotions. So that is why acceptance is crucially very important. When you accept it, then you understand how to go about it in future as well. Now, the steps that you can take to make your holidays a little better and all these emotions under control. If there's a occasion or if there's a party that you have to go but you don't want to go, be it any reason that is there, skip it or decide for yourself. Understand your emotions, acknowledge your emotions, and it is okay to talk about these emotions as well. It's very important to understand that it is not something that you are only feeling. A lot of people have those kind of jitters and anxieties during the time of holidays because of n number of reasons. So reaching out for help is also something that you can keep in your mind. Then keeping a check on your emotions. How are you feeling about a certain thing, a certain day, a certain event, and working around that certain emotions is also very crucial. And other than that, acknowledgement is something that plays a very big role in all these things.
How can we approach this season with mindfulness amidst all the hustle and bustle?
Gratitude and mindfulness are two very crucial things that we should adapt in our lives, because that basically helps us in understanding what we are grateful for and what we should be mindful for as well. Now, when I talk about gratitude, this holiday season, I just wanted to convey that let's not limit the mindfulness just to others or gratitude to others, but to ourselves as well. Yes, we can be there for others as well. We can be there with them. We can have a good meal with them, share why they mean so much to us, and let them know that you are grateful to have them in your life. But be grateful for yourself this holiday season as well. Tell yourself what are some things that you are proud of yourself, some things you are looking forward for. All these things that you do for yourself and for others puts a sense of positivity in you and helps you with the determination and direction for future as well. This is very important, and being mindful with whatever you are doing. When we talk about mindfulness, it's about being in the present and it's about enjoying what is there, your environment, your body, what is happening within your body, where are you feeling certain emotions, and all those things fall under this. So it is very important to be mindful of the gratitude we present as well. Now, how can we do that? It's very important to be respectful of what you're feeling. Again, the similar thing. Even if we are feeling the negative emotion, we should be acceptable of that, and that's very important and crucial. So that is how we can cultivate mindfulness and gratitude at the same time. And again, very importantly, let's focus on cultivating that gratitude and mindfulness to others as well as to our own selves as well.
आई थिंक विद द लास्ट कपल ऑफ ईयर्स मेंटल हेल्थ के अराउंड इतनी अवेयरनेस हुई है कि लोग अब ज़्यादा जागरूक हैं और बहुत ओपनली मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में बात कर पाते हैं. नाउ फ्रॉम यू आई वुड लाइक टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट्स ब्रॉट अबाउट दिस चेंज.
From the past, as we can see, there have been a lot of taboo around mental health and mental illnesses as well. When we used to talk about depression and anxiety in the past, I think one thing in reply we have received in replies is like, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता, this is not true and stuff like that. But now as I see, as everyone is growing, the mindset is exploring, everyone is in that sense of healing and they want to heal from everything that has happened. It is definitely very beautiful to see that change, because somewhere that taboo is getting removed and the future generation that is coming along is receiving help as they need. We see people on Instagram or other platforms talk about therapy really openly and how therapy has helped and evolved their journey. So I think the taboo is still there, but it's definitely growing, and people are definitely learning and they are understanding the importance of mental health and how equivalent it is to our physical health as well. And that's something that's really beautiful and really great in this field also. But yeah, at the same time, there are people who still don't believe in therapy, but that's also going to come with the personal experiences and with the personal journeys that we take forward as humans. So I think, yeah, there are going to be some set of people who will be against therapy for some period of time, but at least it's growing. At least we are talking about mental health really openly, and so yeah, I think that's how mental health is evolving, and that's definitely a very great evolution that I am seeing.
Now we cannot speak about mental health and skip social media. I think we definitely have to speak about it. I feel like social media is a double-edged sword, right, with its own benefits and disadvantages. From your experience, how can one cultivate a healthier experience with social media and internet?
Digital space is a very, very open space when we talk about it. And when we talk about digital space and how we can have the healthier relationship with our digital spaces, it is very important for us to be considerate of what we are consuming from our digital spaces initially. What we consume definitely impacts us. Even if I'm talking about a 30 or 60 seconds reel, we think that, we have just seen it and scroll it, but somehow, somewhere, it does give that impact in our life. We consume it, we are consuming it, even if we are just consuming 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or 15 seconds of it, there's still consumption. So I personally believe that, how you create your digital spaces, what you consume of your digital spaces really tells you what kind of relationship you have with your digital space. For example, I am someone who is just watching memes and everything. It's good to see memes for a certain period of time, but if I'm only indulged in that or dark humor or stuff like that, it's definitely gonna come into my personality, and it's definitely going to be reflected in my conversations with my fellow colleagues and everyone out there. But if I'm indulging myself to upskill myself, learn about new skills, be it graphic designing, video editing, or some other skills, understand about mindfulness, mental health, or anything like that, it's definitely going to reflect in my personality out of the space as well. So I personally believe what we consume is what we look like. So it's majorly about the consumption that we do, and we should be very mindful of what we consume, and that's on you to decide what you want to consume, to be very frank, to be very honest. So understand what you are consuming right now, see the first 10-15 reels that comes to your For You page, and see what kind of consumption you are doing and how you can change it and how you can make it better so that you have a healthier relationship. Cultivate that healthier relationship. And when I mention this, I don't want you guys to just restrict yourself to videos and stuff about education and everything like that. No, have fun as well, but see what you're consuming. Be mindful of what you're consuming is what I'm trying to say here.
Now डॉक्टर, फिजिकल वेलनेस और न्यूट्रिशन का क्या रोल होता है आपकी ओवरऑल मेंटल हेल्थ को ठीक रखने में?
Definitely, the mental health and physical health are somewhere interconnected. As we start the conversation about mental health as well, we talk about how it is equally important as physical health. So, definitely, there is an interconnection that we see, and that interconnection is very visible. And the kind of food we intake, the exercises that we do, the physical movement that we do, it all definitely contributes to how we are physically and mentally both. Because if your body does not have the energy, if you're not having good nutrient intake and your body does not have that energy to work properly or to even think straight, it's going to impact your mental well-being as well, because your thoughts will be very cluttered because you don't have that energy to unclutter your thought. That also takes a lot of energy out of you as an individual. So all these things somehow contributes to you. Now if I'm talking about you not being physically very active as you need to be, if you're not physically very active, then it's going to impact your sleep patterns. It's definitely going to make you a little lethargic as well, and being lethargic and lazy and these kind of things will definitely impact your sleep cycle. And when your sleep cycles are impacted, you will definitely have a lot of overthinking or different mental health concerns as well. So it's like both the things are very interconnected, very overlap. So if you don't have that good physical exercise or that nutrient that needs to be there for your brain, for your whole body, you're not hydrated or you're not following the things that needs to be there to keep you fit, then it's definitely going to impact how you think, how your thoughts are, how decluttered your thoughts are, what is going around your mind, how you are thinking about certain situations, how you are reacting in certain situations. So all these things are going to come together. So that is why it is very important to be mindful about your physical health as well. So what I suggest is, have that at least good physical movement, because our body need that movement to stay fit so that we don't jam ourselves. Have good nutrient intake in the era where there is fast food and everything like that. Yeah, that is fine, that's completely your choice, but you need to be considerate of your nutrients intake as well, because at the end of the day, that's something that's going to sustain you. So be mindful about that, and also stay hydrated, have a good sleep. All these things contribute to how you are physically and mentally. So it all interconnects and it all overlaps. So both are equally important and interconnected. So take care of both the spaces.
I think there's a lot of buzz around work-life balance these days, and everybody wants to achieve work-life balance, but it's easier said than done. How can individuals working in 9 to 5 jobs and companies who are employing them can collaborate to cultivate a healthier culture for their employees and for everybody?
Work-life balance is something that's very important and very crucial, and the kind of conversation I have had, it has been believed that there's no such thing as work-life balance, but there is, and there should be, because you work for a certain hour and then you have life outside your work as well. If you take the baggages and the thought processes and the emotions and all the clutter from your work to your personal life, it's not just going to impact you but your relationships outside the workspace as well. It can be your family, it can be your kids, it can be your partner, or any other relationship that you have, and it's going to be reflective on there as well. That's why work-life balance is very important. I can definitely see a lot of organization taking up a lot of different steps to make sure that their employees are happy at the workspaces and they are understanding the importance of work-life balance, and that is happening by using a lot of different what you call workshops or the CRS activities that needs to be there, and a lot of interaction of family days in the organizations as well. I remember there was one organization, they had a family meetup day kind of a thing, where the families of the employees used to come together and enjoy. That is a very good way of indulging the family in work as well, but at the same time giving them a space to, giving your employees the space to enjoy as well. So these kind of different unique initiatives is something that organization can take up to make their employees feel better, make their employees feel why it is important to have that work life balance with themselves. So I think that is something that really helps the employees and really helps them in understanding the importance of it, and why it is okay to not take packages out of your work to your personal life, because both the relationship that you share are very different in both the spaces. So you need to be mindful of how you are handling both the spaces as well. Now, how you can personally do it is by creating those set boundaries for yourself, that okay, after this certain hour I am not going to talk about work, or I am not going to be available for work, or after this particular hour I am not going to talk about work with my family. I will be talking about their day, but I don't want to bring work back to home, and stuff like that. You can put in different boundaries for yourself, and the organizations can also definitely, with the unique ideas, helps you in understanding the importance of work-life balance. So I think that's how the organization and the employees both can have different steps to understand work-life balance better and to imply it as well.
Now, doctor, if there's one mindset shift that you would like to recommend to our viewers today, what would it be?
Okay, so this comes with a very personal opinion that I have for something, and I personally believe that it is an activity, not an activity, but it is a habit that everyone should cultivate. So now some people are very oriented towards reading books, and some people are very oriented towards watching videos or listening to podcasts or Spotify or anything like that for matter. One thing that I personally believe everyone should cultivate is, we all have our personal life, we all have things going on in our life, things that may be working out or may not be working out. We have our own sets of problems, we have our own sets of solutions and everything like that. I personally believe the self-help books or the self-help YouTube videos or podcast or reels or anything like that is something that everyone should consume in the digital era. It is something that really has helped me from the past few months to grow, heal and learn better. And I think that's something, it just increase your bandwidth of understanding things from perspective as well, which helps you in growing as a person, and it's very crucial and very important at the same time. So I think that's one habit of mindfully reading or listening to self-help content can be a very big win, can definitely help you in understanding things from better perspective. And I personally feel we are at a space where our phones or books is something that we are very close knitted to, phone specifically very close knitted to. So I think using that in this format rather than watching reels and everything may also help. So yeah, this is one habit that I personally believe everyone should cultivate to have that growth mindset and understanding mindset, because it helps you with your personal growth and your professional growth as well. At certain period of time, you understand people's reaction, your reactions better, and you understand things about yourself and perspective about yourselves very better. So yeah, I think this is one habit that I would definitely encourage everyone to have.
Now, before we move on to our questions from viewers, I would like to understand from you, do you have any favorite mental health podcasts or books or any movie or documentary that you would like to recommend to our viewers?
I am someone who personally reads a lot of book. I am a book reader, and we just talked about podcast and books and everything like that. So definitely I have recommendations for books specifically. So currently I am reading this book. This is The Mountain Is You, and this is by Brianna West. And I love this book because this gives you so much of different perspectives perspective on life, on self-sabotaging, and a lot of self-activities that we indulge in. So this is something that I'm currently reading and I am loving it. I have read another book by Brianna West as well, and that is This Is How You Heal When You Are Ready. So that book is also a 10 on 10 from my end. And a lot of different self-help books that you find in market. Ikigai is also a really good book, gives you a very good perspective about things in life as well. I'm not very sure about podcast and everything like that because I'm not very inclined towards podcasting. But yeah, book is something that I can give a lot of recommendation on. And yeah, this is something that gives you a really good insight. So you can start your year with this book. I 100% recommend this.
Now we have some questions from our viewers, so let's look at them. The first one is, what's your advice for someone who wants to start therapy but doesn't know where to begin?
Someone who wants to start therapy and does not know where to begin from, the first and foremost thing or the initial thing that you can do is to understand what kind of space do you want for yourself. Now we have expressive spaces in therapy, which can have expressive therapies, be it theater, movie, art, and all those things, but not, and you want to start with traditional talk therapy, then you can definitely go out and look for a therapist who resonates with you. You can take discovery call with therapists rather than having direct sessions. So in discovery call, it is, I think, around 15 or 30 minutes specifically, depending on the therapist. You can sit with them and discuss your concerns, that this is why you want therapy, and this discovery call definitely helps you in understanding the therapist better as well. So taking intake calls or discovery call with therapists you find at certain spaces can be helpful, so that you understand if this is something that you want to go forward with, rather than taking the first session right away. So I think that's one step that you can follow, and definitely do your research, right, what kind of therapist the person is you are taking call with, what modalities they follow. Just take a brief about what they work with and see the concern that you are there for, is that something that they have taken up or not. So that are some things that you can be considerate of while going forward with it.
The next question is, my husband is going through a rough patch. How can I support him?
Our partners go through a rough patch. It somehow gets difficult for us to figure out how we can be there, how we can be supportive. Very important thing, be there. Just be present. You don't have to be there and ask them again and again, kya hua, tell me what happened, what's wrong, what's not working out. That can also irritate the other person. But being there, being present by their side, sitting by their side silently, just supporting them is something that works wonder for your relationship. You are there, you just let them know, hey, I am here for you whenever you are okay to talk about it. I am here and I want you to know that. That just do wonder to the other person, and that's just really important, really crucial, and really amazing at the same time as well. So that is something that you can do there to support the other person. You can help them, if you think that they do need help, you can help them find help, find a right therapist as well. If they want that space, you can let them know that it's okay to talk about mental health, it's okay to talk about your concerns to someone else, it's okay to ask for help. So all these things definitely are something that helps the other person in knowing that you are there for them. So these small steps that we do, that we take for our partners, definitely help them in understanding we are here.
Last question for the day is, I often get overwhelmed during arguments. Any tips for me?
When we talk about being in an argument or fighting with our partners as well, one tip that comes to my mind very often for this is that take your time off in between when you feel overwhelming, because when we are fighting we say things we don't want to say, and we don't mean those things as well, but it somehow impacts so many things in a relationship and can let your partner feel bad about things that you don't even mean as well. So it's very important to take that time out, sit with your thoughts, your emotions, and then when you are cool off, when you are calmer, then go and have those conversations, then go and have that conversation, complete the conversation that you were arguing about. And rather than in the heat of the moment just letting everything out, it's better to take your space, give your partner their space, you guys think about what you guys were fighting about, and any solutions that you can come up with or anything like that. So I think that's something that can really be helpful, and can keep the conversation very right as well. So yeah, that is something that you can do when you feel overwhelmed.
Thank you for joining us today, Doctor. I hope you have a lovely holiday season. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope I could share some insights or some information with everyone watching this. And if you have any questions, you can definitely reach out. And yeah, happy holidays and a very happy new year. Take care.
And to our viewers, a huge thank you to all of you. आप इस पूरा साल संडे वेलनेस के साथ बने रहे. I hope हम आपकी सारी queries solve कर पाए हैं. And I promise next year will be even better. Till then, stay safe and a very happy holiday season to you all.